Welcome to If the Truth Be Told, a space of honest conversations, deep faith, and finding clarity in a noisy world. Here's your host, Reverend Dr. Faulk.
Hey everybody, welcome. We're glad you're here with us today. If you like the content, we're so glad. We're here and talking about everything, faith, politics, all kinds of stuff. Hit subscribe and join us here on YouTube, and we'll let you know when we do this every week.
Hi guys.
Got Mark Monett over here with me.
That's right.
And got Jack Percival over there helping us take care of the technology. And today, gotta laugh, our subject. So it started out, we were eventually going to talk about women in sports, but we were talking about South Carolina football. Anybody want to talk South Carolina
I was talking
football?
about Ohio State football.
Yeah, but nobody likes it. I mean, especially in South
Here
Carolina.
they don't. That's correct. But
Clemson fans hate Ohio State.
they do.
Michigan fans hate Ohio State.
I think Woody
Hate's
Hayes.
a really bad
I think
word.
Woody Hayes didn't like them much either.
No, that's the guy slugged this Clemson player back in
That is correct.
what was that, 80?
78?
70, something like that. When so long ago.
A couple days ago.
Yeah, so long ago I can't remember. But no, we're talking about South Carolina, and I saw my buddy Frank Goff. He gave me a good haircut today, and we were talking about South Carolina football. And I told him, I said, look, you should beat Kent State, you should beat Towson, Mississippi State, and toss up, but hopefully you can beat them. But at Alabama, Kentucky, W. I'm gonna give them a W.
Right.
So that's 1, 2, that's 4. At Florida,
That's
maybe
that'd be
upset
rough.
them.
That would be rough.
That had been upset. So if you win that, that's 5. Tennessee, number 25, Tennessee here at
That could
South
be a
Carolina.
throw up
That
because
could
they're
be,
hot and cold.
yeah, you might be able to beat Tennessee. That might be 6. At Oklahoma, not with Mateer at quarterback. If he's healthy, that's trouble.
And that just come about in the last couple of years.
Yeah, he's played well last year. Then A&M, we had them, and we had them by chokehold. I say we, South Carolina had them. And
That's correct.
Let
And they
them
had
off.
a good year last year, too.
yeah, so Texas A&M, that's 6, maybe 6. Arkansas, you should beat them. That might be 7. Georgia, Clemson.
Georgia, who's that?
I know, Bulldogs pretty darn good. And then Clemson. So you could go anywhere from, you can win 5 games, you can win 7 games. You get upset by anybody you shouldn't be upset by, bad news, man, like last year.
And you can count on one
Last
upset
year when they
also.
lost to Vanderbilt, I said they're in trouble because
Right.
that was I don't know about you folks, but yeah, and that was rough. That was rough. So anyway, I love talking sports. You ready for football?
I'm born ready.
Born ready. I love that.
And
love
I
that.
hate to mention it, but my daughter was born at Ohio State, so she's a bigger Buckeye than I am.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
You could switch over to Michigan. And my boys at NC State. I don't know. Let's see what Clemson look like this year. Ooh, Clemson.
Well, their coach is under scrutiny,
You think?
or under the microscope, I should say.
Well, Georgia Southern plays Clemson. I think that's second game of the year. Third game. Hold on, I'll find their. Let's see if
A little side note: I dressed for the weather because I feel like I've been in the tropics for the past 4 or 5 days.
I hear you. Well, speaking of the tropics, there's only 101 outside today, so I can't imagine. But
It's a good diet program. It's water weight, but I lost probably 6-7 pounds today.
I gotcha. Clemson plays LSU at LSU to open the season.
That's not good.
We'll see. Lane Kiffin, I can't stand him.
But you know what? They haven't been anything since their Heisman.
Yeah, since Joe Barrow. And then they
Who
played
started
Georgia
at Ohio
Southern.
State, by the way, and
He
didn't play.
He did. Well, that just shows you how smart Ohio State was. Let him go.
Well,
So wasn't he a number 1 pick coming out of college?
I think he
I
was.
think he was Cincinnati. Yeah.
Right?
Ohio.
There's a tie always
Yeah.
back to Ohio.
Cincinnati wins a lot, don't they?
Not really.
Okay. Cleveland.
Never.
Okay. Well, what you got going there? I'm messing. Anyway, yeah, Clemson. We'll see how Clemson does this year. They've got but have you seen what's been going on in WNBA, the Women's
The
National Basketball. Do you watch the Women's National
You know what? I
Basketball
love
Association?
watching at least the highlights because it's a rough game anymore.
I don't think it's meant to be.
Uh,
Now, we in South Carolina, we watch the Gamecocks and Dawn Staley and the Gamecocks, right?
And they kill it. I am a fan.
I love that.
I will tell you.
Yeah. It's fun. I mean, I will say I've gotten to where I love women's softball, especially watching college softball.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we watch the College World Series every year. I watch games going into that, and certainly we watch the championship, all the way through.
Correct.
I mean, it's a lot of fun. That's a quick game. It happens fast. You never know what the next pitch is going to bring, a home run or a strikeout.
You're right.
It's really a lot of fun. But women's basketball, I hadn't gone to a game here yet, but it's always packed, and a lot of South Carolina fans love women's basketball here. So,
well, I mean, I might be disclosing some stuff, but when I was in college, I was a cheerleader,
okay,
a collegiate cheerleader, and it was a blast. I loved it. Best time of my life.
Well, you did hang out with the women cheerleaders.
I did,
Now,
and I'm not complaining.
Okay, if you're a heterosexual, red-blooded American man,
That's
that's
correct.
probably not a bad place to be.
So we cheered.
Now, did they throw you, or did you throw them?
Well, a little both. If we did pyramids, I was part of it,
Okay.
and we'd do 3 high, and I would hold someone
Okay,
above me. But we cheered for football and basketball.
Okay.
And my time there, we beat Michigan State, which was a big deal twice in the same season. But we also cheered for the women's basketball,
Okay.
and it's nothing like it is now.
Oh no, it was
At all.
not much contact, and not.
No, and it's and if I go way back, my mom played high school football where you couldn't run past half court as a female.
Right.
So
High school basketball.
basketball,
okay,
right?
Yeah.
But no, I enjoy watching reels and all of the drama that's going on now.
Well, there is drama, and the issue is that I don't know about you, but there's this push that somehow Caitlin Clark, who's coming to the game, that the referees don't seem to see any fouls hardly on her
At all.
I mean, I've watched a little bit of highlights, and she's getting punched in the face and punched in the throat and knocked down, and
Right.
and yet then she goes out and scores 25 points, 10
And
10
the foul
rebounds,
is on her.
and 10 yeah,
I don't know how that works.
it has been an interesting thing to watch, and the thing that I see about it is Sophie Cunningham, her Indiana Fever
Finger pointing.
yeah, the finger pointer. She does, and I don't know. It just seems like there's some animosity against her and against Caitlin Clark. Last year she took up for her. This year she's been taking up for her. I don't know what Caitlin Clark has said, but it's been in the national news. And just this past week, a young lady that fouled Sophie Cunningham on a breakaway just
Right.
mauled her,
Yes.
and they threw her out of the game for aggressive behavior, which they would at any
Right.
NBA or college.
It had happened the year before
Yeah.
with Cunningham doing it.
Yeah.
And she admitted it.
Yes. Well, this young lady put white privilege,
White privilege, yeah.
privilege out. That I don't know about that. That was just bizarre. I don't know. WNBA just seems to be. I think it's one of those things. Here's my question: do you think that the WNBA is not only allowing that kind of behavior and putting out? Do you think that behind the scenes they're encouraging this for the
draw
publicity? Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
I was just thinking the same
Yeah.
thing. I think we got to get the interest, and until you get attendance,
Yeah.
they're-
Well,
they're-
and they say basically that the attendance is way down. The NBA supplements the league, by millions of dollars,
Right.
and if it wasn't for the NBA, they wouldn't exist basically.
correct. And I think I read this week or saw it. The WNBA has not defined the W.
That's where we're going with this. huh?
Correct. And but the newscasters are saying define it.
W.
Why do we have to?
Well, Dave Chappelle laughed about this a few years ago. He said that the WNBA, if we don't know what a woman is, can LeBron James join the WNBA and score 275 points a game? And they're like, no. In fact, last week, I think it was, Enos Cantor, who was a former University of Kentucky center, 7 foot tall, and I think he played for ball. He played for a couple of different teams in the NBA. And he and a guy named Royce White both said that they declared they were eligible for the WNBA draft.
Right. And act like they're serious, like they can increase revenue.
Well, can you imagine a 7 foot dude? I mean, here's the thing. Okay, I'll admit I'm just not in favor of biological men playing women's sports. If they want to create a trans league, go for
have at it.
Have at it.
Yes.
And this comes a good friend of mine. I called him,
but even a trans league would end up all the same biological sex for the most part.
Well, yeah. I mean, has a woman ever played in the NBA successfully? And the answer is no.
No.
Has a woman ever played
the Globetrotters is all I can think of.
Well, that's a show. Yeah, that's not real. But like, think about it. The major MLB, no.
Correct.
NBA, no. Hockey, NHL,
nope.
No, I can't imagine that.
No.
That'd be frightening. Certainly not the NFL. Not even a kicker.
No.
I mean, maybe high school or maybe college. I
believe in high school we had a female kicker that tried.
Yeah.
She wasn't a starter, but she was on the roster.
But basically, I mean, this is my deal. I talked to a good friend, and he said, well, he's a gay man, and we were talking, and I said, are you for this kind of stuff? I was like, are you for a dude hitting? And my daughter played third base in college and high school, and I'm going, are you okay? And he knows her, and I said, are you okay with a dude hitting a softball from that distance at her? He's like, heck no. No. It's like, no, that's not, no. Or the pitcher or the first baseman. No, that's crazy.
Correct.
And it reminds me of, there was a little movie a few years ago called The Benchwarmers, and they, brought in a ringer to hit home runs constantly. And, it's that idea is that, I mean, it's a farce in a movie, but it's not reality.
Correct.
God made women, God made men. And, hey, if you want to surgically change or whatever, again, my deal is you can, do what you want as long as you don't tell me what I can do and tell me what I've got to accept.
Correct.
But at the same time, my friend, who's, like I said, is a gay man, said years ago they marched, and they marched for basic rights, to not be fired, to not be harassed, to not be, assaulted, to not be spit on, to not be, treated differently, to have the rights of insurance, to have the rights of having a union, to have the rights
equal pay for equal job. Yeah.
But the issue, and well, even with women, certainly we go back to, and we'll go there in a second, but the man was telling me, he said, he didn't march for over the top privilege, over the top, recognition.
Right.
He said, and I'll give you his word. His words exactly were, I didn't march for some dude to be in a diaper standing in the middle of a street in a parade swinging his junk in front of children.
Correct.
And I said, exactly.
And celebrate it.
And go, that's great. If somebody wants to do that, they can do that, but that's not what he was about. Right. And I love that. And I'm going, man, I said, the irony of things is back many years ago, as far as certainly with the church. And I can remember telling people, we welcome anybody and everybody to church. Mm-hmm. And here's the thing, I have a guy that came to church, and everybody treated him well, and everybody was great, and but they didn't endorse his lifestyle.
Correct.
Oh, he was alcoholic though, like me. I mean, I'm one that I don't drink. I wasn't even talking about it.
Right.
Okay. I'm just saying we don't endorse that woman that came in the door, who she was welcomed and treated her great and respect. Mm-hmm. We didn't tell her it was great to keep having an affair on her husband. That may be shocking, but not everything is okay.
Correct.
Biblically.
Correct.
As far as, behavior wise, Paul says, do not drink, to drink.
It's not our place to judge either.
Basically those kind of things. It's one. I think the world has had trouble with just the idea of no. Things are different biblically when it comes to there are standards and morals. There's a thing called morals and ethics.
Well, it's okay to understand
10 Commandments.
and not condone.
Right. Love God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. Love your neighbor as yourself. What does that mean when I love my neighbor is I respect them, but they're also my neighbor, and I expect the same treatment back from them.
Correct.
So it's like I've said before, you can say you're a cat, but don't expect me to buy the cat food. You know
That's
what I
right.
mean? I mean, it's that you can do what but don't tell me what. This all goes back even in the late 70s. I was thinking about this earlier today. Do you remember Billie Jean King?
Oh, yes.
And playing
Arthur
Bobby
Ashe?
Rigby.
Yes.
The Battle of the Sexes
Yes.
is what it was.
I remember.
And it made me think about the fact that I think she beat him in that. But he was older gentleman, and he'd run his mouth. It was more of a social. Getting attention, a little bit more
Correct.
attention, and I get it. I get women's rights. I've got 3 daughters and a wife. I love women's rights.
Right.
But if you think about it, not too many years ago, I think it was Venus Williams, or maybe I think it was Serena was asked about if she played Andy Murray, what would how would that go? It was on a night. A weekday show. I remember it was Kimmel or one of those type, Letterman, one of those type.
One of the night shows.
Night shows, late evening. And she just laughed and said, he'd win 6-0, 6-0. And she said it.
She's a beast.
She said it. She's like, no, I got no chance with that. And that's sort of where we are with this craziness of, and again, that's why I think it's all a publicity stuff.
I think it is as well.
It's the publicity of we can get more when you show up on main news, you're not even on Sports Channel. You're on Fox and CNN about what's going on in their league. It's the old thing of you can't buy that kind of advertising.
No, you can't. And what in defense of the athletes, I don't think they're the ones participating in the drama as much as the officials are.
And the coaches.
And the coaches, correct.
I will say this, when the woman just, knocked Sophie Cunningham upside the head when she was going for the layup and they threw her out, if she texts whatever she wants, puts it out there on X or Facebook or wherever, that's fine. That's up to her. Mm-hmm. But for the coach of the Indiana Fever, which her player was hit, to not support her player.
Right.
My first thought is why she still have a job.
Correct. And that's not the first time she has.
Right. Her name's Stephanie White.
Clark was part of it too.
But I'm just like, at that point, if I'm the owner, I'm going, I got a coach that doesn't support our own players. I got a problem in the locker room at that point. But again, the fact she hasn't been fired tells me it's publicity.
Correct.
It's like everybody's in on it at this point. It's like pro wrestling.
Yes. At the end.
One step from pro wrestling.
Correct. But at the end of the season, we may see more. Hey, we're not going to ask her back, or they're not going to renew her contract.
They probably give her a raise. I mean, think about it. Yeah. I mean, when you get this,
if it increases revenue,
that's
exactly what's going to do.
Well, I find it interesting, and like I said, I thought it was an interesting topic to talk about today because the fact it's become headline news, and it has grown outside of its bubble of women's sports. Mm-hmm. But that whole controversy of going all the way back to the Leah Thompson, winning medals and in swim events and beating Riley Gaines,
right?
And at some point they stop and go, "That's a dude. That's a dude that swims."
Well, I'm surprised we've talked about this, and Bruce Jenner hasn't come up yet.
Well, what was she, Caitlin?
Caitlin.
By the way, Caitlin has said that men shouldn't be playing. Biological men should not be playing in women's sports, and so has, believe it or not, Martina Navratilova. And she said the same thing. She says basically, no. And what you're doing there, think about what it means. This is what kills me because as a dad who's all my daughters play sports, and 2 of them were good enough to play college, and one
my daughter could have.
Yeah, and the issue is when you let the dude win the event, you're basically, and you can say trans whatever, but basically you're saying to the girls, it doesn't matter how much you've trained or how much you've worked, you're not good enough.
Correct.
We're going to let a dude come in here and take your spot.
And take it over. That's right.
I mean, I saw a beauty pageant that they had a trans guy. And let me first of all say, I don't know who the judges are, but God bless.
Right?
Yeah.
How do you even walk into that?
I was about to say, they could do an ad for eyeglasses or contacts or corrective surgery, but
or
no,
cataracts for that matter.
But it's one of those things where what you're saying to the girls is, once again, you don't measure up, and we got a lot of that in the world. A lot of that. Think about it. I'm a big. I believe it that a lot of that pain and suffering that's inflicted on people's psyche, on their self-worth, that is satanic. That is Satan whispering. That's demonic whispering in people's ears.
Manipulating.
You're not pretty enough. You're not handsome enough. You're not thin enough. You're not this enough. You're not strong enough. You're not that enough. All those things are the enemy. That God's good creation of male and female, of human beings, no matter your quote strengths or weaknesses, God made you, and you are His child, and you are beloved. And there's a force out there saying you're not measuring up.
Well, if I could share a unique perspective, I was a health teacher, so I taught the biology of male and female to middle schoolers of all ages. It's where we start typically, and I was a coach for male sports and female sports. I coached volleyball for females. I was a wrestling coach, and never once did a boy want to play volleyball on the girls' team.
Yeah.
But girls every year would approach me to, hey, can I wrestle, Mr. Monett? I said, absolutely. I said, but let me let you know a little secret. Whatever moves are done, a male can use the same moves on you as they can use on anybody else. And for some odd reason, that female never approached me again. Never showed up for practice because there's just appropriateness and inappropriateness. However, because boys wanted to play on girls' volleyball teams when I was in high school, they created boys volleyball.
Yeah.
And Title IX had a lot to do with that.
Sure.
But the track and field, co-ed, but never competed against each other.
Yeah.
But wrestling, they have now started female wrestling teams, which
good.
It's awesome.
And that's wonderful, and that is the way it should be, where they have an opportunity. And again, if somebody wants to be a trans person, God bless. They want to do that, and they want to have a sport or whatever the issue is. Yeah. So, well, ultimately we're out of time today, but I appreciate you being here. Thank you again. Thank you, Jack,
Thanks for having me.
Being the.
I love this. This is cool.
It's just, again, just us talking and, again, trying to bring a little bit of truth and light to things that are happening right now in the world. I'm not here to preach a sermon. I'm not here to do a, quote, devotional, if that's what you're looking for. But if you're looking for just common sense talk, I know we've had my wife here, and we've done things on families and marriages, and that's what we're going to bring you every week. So subscribe right there on YouTube, hit the subscribe button and hit all, and you'll be notified the next time we post one. Thank you so much for being with us. Again, thank you guys. God bless. Take care.
Thank you.